everybody, welcome back to the Wonder of Anime YouTube channel. My name is Lisa, and in today's video I am going to review a recent anime movie that I saw, and I just saw this in theaters about a week and a half ago. I don't know when by the time you're watching this video, but it is Josee, the Tiger and the Fish. And this movie came out in theaters. It was a super limited run in both dub and sub this July 2021. And I just heard about it because there was news that a movie was coming to the theaters. And if you've been following me long enough, you know that I am a movie junkie in terms of watching movies in theaters. I think nothing beats watching a movie in theaters, especially an anime movie. I saw the trailer. I think I saw like a trailer that was in Japanese that didn't have subtitles when I originally saw the trailer, and I didn't know too much of what the film was going to be about, but either way I was like, this is coming to an area near me. I definitely want to see it. And if you follow me on TikTok, I'll put like a little clip here. I actually made a TikTok the day that I saw this movie, because I kind of made like this whole big thing. I went right after work and I took myself on a date. I went out to eat by myself and I saw the movie by myself. It was just a really, really good experience. And first of all, highly recommend for you to watch this movie. Also, highly recommend for yourself to take yourself on a date to watch a movie, because it is just so much fun to do. At least for me, I love being alone. I love doing things in solitude. So it was really, really good to just watch this movie by myself.
This is your sign to take yourself on a date and watch an anime movie.
Now, saying what I said previously, where I didn't know too much about this movie, I've spoken about it in other videos. I kind of prefer it that way, just because, especially with anime movies, sometimes they can be dramatic and you just don't know where it's going. And I love that. I just learned now while pulling up the information for the movie that this is based on a manga, and there are 2 volumes out. So I may want to check that out. Y'all know me, I love like reading the manga after I watch an anime or anime movie. So that is something that I may consider doing. Josee, the Tiger and the Fish, tells a story about, his name is Sano, I think, and he, by this crazy circumstance, meets Josee, who, that's not her real name, but that's the name that she chose for herself. And she is in a wheelchair, and she's been in a wheelchair all her life, and she has a very super protective grandmother who, as a result, is scared for Josee to go outside. Josee's already, handicapped. She's in this wheelchair, and as a result, Josee's just kind of like this girl who's starved for friendship, but she doesn't know how to act or react with it, and she's home all the time. These two meet by happenstance, and Josee's grandmother actually hires Sano to be Josee's caretaker. Now, at first, they kind of butted heads, and Josee just wasn't with it at all. Completely understand, she is 24 years old, and now it feels like she has a babysitter. I, too, would be upset. And, she's also dealing with her limitations as somebody who's in a wheelchair, wants to explore the world, but she can't, at least to her knowledge. These two become friends, and before you know it, cue the beautiful montage. Sano is taking Josee out. They're doing all of the things that she has been wanting to do. And she is going to aquariums, going to the sea, going out to the library, doing all of these things that she has always wanted to do, but felt like she couldn't do because her grandma was like, you're going to stay home and you're going to be safe from the beast out in the real world. The movie just details their journey together. And of course, wouldn't be a little romance anime without some drama, without some girl who secretly be in love, without an accident, without looking like somebody might die. Just so many things in this movie that I specifically did not see coming. Although in the defense of the movie, they probably may have been obvious to other people. But I literally was watching scene by scene, just captivated by this movie. It is a very light. There are some deeper moments in terms of, thinking about being somebody who has a disability, somebody who can't navigate the world the same as an able-bodied person, and those ramifications that has on somebody's self-identity and their self-worth and how they view the world. And I think one of my favorite lines in the movie is when Sano, I don't know if he says it out loud or he thinks it, but he says something on the lines like, I would love to see the world that you see, Josee. Like, him seeing her world, because she's an artist and her room is filled with paintings of the sea and all of these places that she's never been, that until, you know, he takes her. So it's just such a beautiful story. If it makes its way to a streaming platform, sometimes these movies do, and sometimes they don't end up in a streaming platform and you have to like buy it or rent it. I hope it comes to a streaming platform because it is just really, really good. It's a little bit over an hour. I think maybe like an hour and a half. But the entire movie, I feel personally, I was engaged. I wasn't bored. And it gave me a lot to think about. And as somebody who is able-bodied and, you know, but I am aware of people with disabilities, like, it really makes you double think in a sense that's not too tropey. Like, I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea where the movie is like, poor disabled girl, she can't do stuff like regular people. That's not at all. And I feel like that's a subplot to what it really is, in terms of Josee being told all her life, like, you have to be indoors, you're not going to be able to pursue the dreams that you're going to want to have, and you're always going to need a caretaker and things like that. Like, it's more so about Josee and her journey, seeing that she can do all of the things that people told her not to do, and not really in relation to like the disability. Like, it's just her mindset, her dreams, her goals, and wanting to achieve those things. I think the movie does such a great job of portraying that, and the interactions with her and Sano, where Sano is never thinking about Josee in a wheel. It's never like, girl, you in a wheelchair, I'm able-bodied, we can't work. Like, that is never brought up as a point for them, like, hindering their romance or anything like that. I will say the only downside, or the only part that I kind of didn't like, that I felt like was very tropey, is the fact that, and I feel like this, I may have said this, that this video has light spoilers, but this is definitely a spoiler. If you made it this far and you haven't watched the movie or read the manga, there definitely is this part where, of course, able-bodied Snow gets in a car accident. He's not going to be able to walk for some time. He's going to walk again, but he's not going to be able to walk for some time, losing out on his dreams of diving in Mexico because he won the program, but now he can't go because he's disabled momentarily. That, for me, I didn't really like that part, just because they don't make the movie about, like, the whole time the story is not really about Josee's disability and how it is hindering her. And I feel like sometimes in movies with mainstream, I feel like I've seen this mostly mainstream tropes, sometimes the anime, but not often. It's more so like mainstream tropes. Like, I don't think that somebody needs, like, usually they'll be like, I didn't know the struggles that you faced until I too was in a wheelchair. And like, that trope for me, him getting in an accident and then being in a wheelchair and possibly losing out on his hopes and dreams, to me just felt over the top, and it felt unnecessary, because the whole time the movie is not really, you know, his relationship with Josee isn't like, oh, you in this wheelchair, girl, I'm not in this wheelchair. Like, that's never a problem. And usually when they do have tropes where somebody gets in an accident to see the disabled side, it's somebody who is overlooking the person's disability. To my knowledge, in the anime movie, that never happened. Like, it never was a moment where they were limited in what they were doing together because she was in a wheelchair. So for then him to turn around and then get that moment where he then ends up in a wheelchair temporarily, that just felt so out of place for me. And I felt like it could have been done a little bit differently than how it was in, like, I don't know, like, I guess instead of maybe him being like, get in the accident, get in the wheelchair, I think maybe he should have gone on the trip and then them handle the long distance thing and kind of be like, oh my god, we really love each other and want to be together in more of a capacity than you being my guide to the world. I think that was my biggest complaint with the movie. Of course, I am not somebody who is in the disabled community, so these are my own opinions, speaking as the point of view from somebody who's watching this as an able-bodied person. I just want to throw that disclaimer out there. In no way am I speaking for the disabled community, but unfortunately it is a trope in movies, media, where somebody, and it's not even only disabilities too, like sometimes it'd be like racism, be like, I didn't know how much you experienced until it was me experiencing that. And I don't think that's always necessary in movies. Like, I think we as humans can have empathy and can, not everybody, but a lot of people can empathize, or a lot of people can understand the severity of situations without them having to experience it. Of course, it's not always going to be the same, but it's not always going to happen that somebody is disabled in a relationship and then the person that they were with, able-bodied, becomes disabled too. Like, that may happen, but that doesn't always happen. So that, to me, that part I just felt like was a little like, y'all doing too much. I didn't feel like it was necessary. But other than that, I enjoyed the movie. I thought it was good. It's definitely one I think I would rewatch if I was with friends. I don't think I would seek it out just to rewatch it. Like I feel like Your Name, I can watch that all the time. But something like this, one or twice, I think it's good. And I may seek out the manga. I'm not sure yet. But if you've seen Josee, the Tiger and the Fish, I would love to know your thoughts behind it. What did you think about the movie? If you're somebody who read the manga and then watched the movie, how did you think the adaptation did? I would love to know all your thoughts and more in the description, in the comments of this video. Thank you guys so much for watching this video, and I will see you on the next one. Peace.